throw it over to you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Elena DeWitt. I'm a fencing Girl Scout from Troop 71484, and I'm a cadet working on my Silver Award project. The Silver Project is the highest achievement a Girl Scout cadet can earn. And I chose to focus my Silver Award project on bees and butterflies. So I chose this project because bees and butterflies are endangered and we need to help them. I found this by doing research at my house online. And my proposal is to create a self-sustaining area growing native plants that are necessary to the survival of these insects. In other words, I wanted to create an area in an Auburn park where I can plant native to Ohio plants that will come back every year and will help, that will be attractive to these insects and will help them continue to get their population up since they're endangered. So now I'm going to talk about plants that I might include that are attractive if I were to do this. So for butterflies, I might include the milkweed plant family, which can be swamp milkweed or common milkweed. And I might include butterfly weed, which butterflies are extremely attracted to. And here's a few more, and these are all perennials. They're all native to Ohio, and they're all non-invasive. And these are what some of the plants might look like. The first one at the top corner is the milkweed, a common milkweed. And then right here is the butterfly weed. For bumblebees, I might include the pussy willows, wild geraniums, asters, goldenrods, and salvias. These are all, bumblebees might go for any flower. They usually, you can find them pretty much anywhere on most flowers, but these ones are flowers that they're extremely attracted to. And here's what some of them look like. My thoughts on where I might put this area are the Auburn Community Park. I went and looked there for some areas that I might like to put it, but I'm open to any other ideas that or places that you guys would like if I can do this project. And yeah, that's the sign. There we go. Okay. So my ideas are to make the area probably somewhere sunny, because it's like where flowers can easily grow and where the monarchs and bumblebees like to go. I did some research on that. They do like sunny areas. And my initial thought is to probably make it like a 10 by 20 foot area somewhere along the trails or parking lot of the Auburn Community Park. And I'm open to other ideas too for this project. And these around the red line is where the trail is, where I'm open to put it anywhere along that line. And then I circled a small area in the parking lot that I thought would be nice to put it to. And then other information, I did today reach out to the foundation, to a foundation for Geauga Parks if they had any interest in partnering with me on this project. And I'm also looking for sponsors from local businesses if they're willing to be interested in supporting me for this. And that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions on this?
You have a very impressive proposal there. I thank you very much.
Thank you.
My son has always beaten me over the head with native plants versus non-native species, so I've been hearing this before. So, the one thing I would say, and I love your idea, we're going to expand that parking lot. So
Okay.
there's going to be construction there. That's not going to work
Okay.
until that's done, maybe. But that's years. That could be that'll be next year sometime.
All right.
And I'm sure you need to move prior to that.
When do you have to have it done by? Is there a deadline?
Well, I'm thinking of getting it done sometime before the winter, so probably most likely during the summertime. I want to have that completed.
And do most of those plants take like full sun, or can you put a garden in the shade area?
I think they would probably most likely do better in the
In the
sunlight,
sun. Okay.
because most of those flowers would just not grow as well in the shade.
Now, is it your plan to start out with plants and that are already grown, or to start them from seed?
I'm still deciding that. I'm thinking probably from seeds, because we can find those easily in the stores.
Okay, and since you have a specific area in mind, are you thinking about anything to delineate that area? Basically to section it off, or just incorporate it into its natural surroundings?
I am open to any areas that you guys have available. Probably just a smaller section, not the whole trail or just a big chunk. I would just want a smaller area for that.
Maybe you could make some kind of nice little sign to put in it that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the lawnmower won't chop it down.
Yeah, I was also
If you
thinking
don't
of
put it
that.
a wall around it or something.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to avoid, like traffic or, you know, I mean, along the drive, would that be, with cars moving, is that like an impediment?
That could be okay probably.
You think so?
Yeah, as long as it's not right along the road.
Can you click back on that thing?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Maybe go to the map.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, so from your dot, you are here.
Yeah.
That north is up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking anywhere from there west, that way. All that gets full southern exposure all summer. I think probably you'd have your full sunlight just about anywhere there.
Yeah.
The one thing we want to be wary of is if we do the swap, they want a 100-foot buffer on the western edge.
Yeah,
So
they do.
We'll have to go out there and mark that out prior to.
Yes,
anything.
that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking
Yeah.
on
The north.
the edge there, going into the woods.
And I probably want to stay as far from any active ball playing activity where that's something could damage the plants.
Yeah, I love the idea. We just got to find the right spot for it.
Yeah.
Well, we got 67 acres there. I'm sure we can find a 10 by 20 foot spot somewhere. Okay.
So, thank you so much for your time today
Thank you.
and taking to listen to this and look at my project.
So what's next?
Would you-
What do you think is next? Like, we look for a spot together? You want to get together with us and pick out a spot? Or is that what would be next, finding the spot?
Yeah, probably that would probably be the next step to this. I can give you my number or my email address if you need it.
He's been with Nancy here at the
You
office.
think we should approve the project tonight with just the only open question being the location?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd make a motion that we,
Approve the project?
let's do this young lady's project and pending a location.
Okay, I will second that motion.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ?
Yes. Give that some thought.
Thank you for coming out. You did a very nice presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice.
So can we tell her she doesn't have to stay for the whole meeting if she wants to have her perspective?
Yeah, we can tell her that. You don't need to stay for the
If you want to leave, we won't be offended.
Okay.
You're welcome to stay for the whole meeting, but we get it.
Yeah, we appreciate
So
you
if
coming
you
down.
want to come around and get your cords and that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, we got a set of minutes from the previous meeting. May
We do
16th.
not.
We
do
got a
not have
draft.
minutes. You do have the draft,
Yeah,
but the
we
person
do.
that actually wrote them didn't.
Okey-doke.
So
All right.
it's up to you.
I had no comments on the draft,
I
so
thought the draft looked hard.
so we get the
Okay,
finalized version.
good.
All right, but we'll agendize that for the next meeting. Matt England, Chris Lewis, and Joey Plavkin.
Yeah, I'm Chris Lewis.
Hi, Chris.
I'm working with Matt and Joey on starting the Auburn Parade again, since it had with COVID and everything, it's had a couple of years off.
4th of July.
4th of July. What we came up with is an 11 o'clock start, 10 o'clock staging down at the Meadows like it always has been, the same path that it's always been. We're working with Chief Phillips on the Cub Scouts doing a hot dog picnic sale at the end of the parade at the fire station. I believe the chief's gonna work with, coordinate with the sheriff to block off the roads like is always done.
Called them today.
Okay. And then the Boy Scouts are here to help. Matt England's kind of heading the whole thing, so it's not really a Boy Scout event, but we're there to help with staging, anything they need. We'll be involved with setting up tables and stuff at the fire station. I guess we're just seeing if the township approves having a parade this year.
Yes. I do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The only
We just
thing,
wanted to make sure that you were to coordinate with Chief Phillips, because he has the most insights into what we've done historically, who the contacts are. So we just wanted to make sure that you had that information to know what direction to go in. I had some questions which I'm not going to bring up because Chief knows all this stuff. So because we were never really involved in it before, it was always
Okay.
the fire department. So it's going to kind of be a passing of the torch, I would say.
yeah, my only involvement really in that ever was showing up on time. That's my comment, is we always started at noon. That always started at noon. So some dinosaurs might,
Well, we're trying to advertise it pretty good.
Okay.
So we're gonna ask the chief, I guess, to put it on the fire station sign. It'll be in the spirit of Bainbridge in their June 24th edition. And we've got some, you'll probably see Auburn Bainbridge Facebook page, other pages. There is a graphic out there with the time and details that we're gonna start posting on social media.
good.
Maybe the township
Yeah, I
could
already
add
saw
it to
some
their
of
website.
the.
We did it already, it's
Oh.
added on our website.
So that means it's approved. It's on the website.
That's right.
So they already have the Facebook page out, I've seen that. They've got an email for anyone who wants to be in the parade.
And Matt's doing all the registration for people that want to be in. He was going to contact local business, see if the Clips wanted trucks in there. I don't know, I think Troy Fire Department's been in it in the past.
He's in other town fire departments.
I think he was going to kind of talk to surrounding townships.
I'll talk to Troy. Newberry doesn't have the staffing available to do it.
Okay.
And Troy's been the only one that's really been coming to him, because everybody else has been so busy
Right.
and short-staffed.
Okay.
So I'll talk to Troy, I'll see if they can send somebody,
Okay.
an engine maybe.
I have all the contact numbers for like the 4-H and Girl Scouts and all that, if you want, I
Absolutely.
can forward it to you.
Right. I might even send something to KC, see if they can send some out to their baseball teams, whatever football teams.
Yeah,
Maybe Kenston
I'll
High
give you,
baseball team will have a championship. They could be in it.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you
good.
very much.
That's all I got.
All right,
Actually, see you.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Call if you need something.
I will do. Thank you.
Don't see Mary Ann Stone.
no, she canceled. You have an old agenda?
We are surging forward into scheduled reports.
Yes, we are. Mr. Kitco, our zoning inspector.
Okay, gentlemen, you should all have a copy of activities for the month of May. We issued 10 permits, 2 new dwellings, which brings the total to 8 for the year. Did have 3 accessory buildings and 2 additions, so we're getting some activity there. Still working with several people on lot splits, and I don't, there seems to be, I don't know how to say this, but changing procedure from the past with the planning commission. And we're trying to work that. Like I spent 25-30 minutes today talking to someone on the phone, which is a completely waste of time. I said, if he wants to go for the variance, he can go for the variance, but don't tell me the planning commission has approved it, because they can't approve it without my signature. and I have yet to see it, to sign it. So, and it involves a family, a well-established family in the township. There's 3 boys involved. Parents are dead, splitting up the lots, you know, and trying to configure everything. And I'm trying to tell the surveyor, I said, don't tell me the planning commission has approved it, because they can't approve it if it doesn't meet zoning, and it doesn't meet zoning unless I sign for it. But I haven't seen it, you know, and he wants to argue with me, and I said, well, I'm sorry, but I haven't seen it, the final of it, and I haven't signed anything. You need to have 175 foot of road frontage, plain and simple. I don't care what, if you change the property line, it must conform to zoning. Zoning is 175 foot.
What's the dimensions on the road frontage of the,
Well, one
Initial
side's
lot.
200 and some, and the other piece is 170. Give the 200, give them 5 feet. You don't need a variance. Or go for the variance, but a variance is a 60, 90 day process, and there's no guarantee that the board is gonna grant it. Well, but it's $4,000 to rewrite the legal descriptions. I said, well, then do what you want. I said, but it hasn't been approved by Chardon because I haven't signed for it. You know, but like I said, I think I had 5 calls from the family and 3 calls from the surveyor.
The family
And I know
didn't,
Jane has spent.
the surveyor didn't check on minimums prior to,
Pardon?
the surveyor didn't check on minimum frontage prior to
Well,
creating
no,
it?
he knows what it is, but he said it's cheaper to go to the Board of Appeals. I said, well, yeah, it could be, but I said, there's no guarantee that they're gonna grant it. You know, and that's the thing, you know, they technically, my opinion, they shouldn't grant it. There's no difficulty there, there's no hardship. If you have 280 feet of frontage here and you've got plenty of room in your setbacks, and you need to give 5 feet of that to this lot, that seems like a no-brainer to me.
If property owner's aware of the, you know, minimum footages and aware of the cost of a zoning board of appeals meeting, that it's free will, made a choice, right?
Right, that's what I explained to him, you know, but I said, there's no guarantee, you know. The fastest way is to just rewrite the legal descriptions, and I don't think it would cost that much money, but, you know, I don't know.
but that's their main problem, is that they don't want to spend at least what they perceive to be a large amount of money.
To rewrite the legal descriptions, right.
Well, okay, so let's say they got a variance, wouldn't they ultimately, well, yeah, okay, so, can't see that happening, just,
Yeah, no. But, you know, I mean,
do any of the, we haven't got that far yet, do you think any of the adjacent property owners would have an issue with it?
well, the adjacent property owners are all parts of the family. Well, not across the street, but on both sides. You know, in other words,
So, well,
yeah,
that's a double-edged sword, it could go
Right.
either way.
Right.
All right, well, they're just gonna have to,
Well, you know, it's just, I don't know. But
well, until it comes to you, there's nothing you can really
Right,
do.
right, well, the thing of it is, you know, it has to meet zoning, and the procedure is like, the zoning inspectors have to sign off on it. You know, and this surveyor is telling me, well, Chardon's already approved it. I said, well, how could they approve it? I haven't signed, so, I don't know, but James is gonna call up there and, you know, talk to the planning commission again and see what the story was.
Yeah, you should probably talk to.
Plus, there's, you know, there's kind of a changing of the procedures in the whole county. We used to have this fantastic relationship with the building department and fantastic relationship with the health department. And that's all kind of gone by the wayside. I don't know whether they're understaffed up there or what.
Have you talked to anybody up at the building department about this issue, and
Well,
to tell them it's like, explained to them where we stand versus what they've
I
done?
have, yeah. But they're short-staffed, and the health department especially is short-staffed. We, you know, we always advise someone who comes to us for a permit, you know, if they're starting from scratch, make sure you can get a septic permit on this lot. Yes, the lot needs zoning, but if it's not in a subdivision, there's no guarantee, you know, that you can get a septic system put on that lot, you know, and probably you can with the new systems today, but anyway, so we always advise them to, you know, check with the health department, and that is part of required data for us to issue a permit, is for a new dwelling, is that you have approval from the health department, you know, and
So this come after a lot split, or have these been existing lots?
no, after lot splits.
Okay, have they already done the lot split?
Several times they have, yeah.
Okay, so they've already got the lot split, they already have the legal descriptions on those lots, they're just,
But they don't know if you can get a septic system. If, like I said, if it's in a subdivision, it's cut and dried, it's already been approved, or, you know, some type of system was approved when the subdivision was plotted. But for individual lots, you know, like a Long Table May Road, or, you know.
when was the split actually done?
Pardon?
How long ago was the split done?
Oh, I'm not sure, Mike, on that, you know, and I know two of them are pending approval, you know,
Okay.
from me and from the, you know, they did go to the health department then, you know. I said, before you do this, let's make sure that, you know, down the road, it's a buildable lot, you know. I mean, they don't have to do it if they're just splitting the lot, but if they wanna build a house on it down the road, then they should do due diligence and check it out, you know, before they spend the money to do it.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, anybody have any questions for Frank? Zoning? We'll move on to Emma Gordon, our road superintendent.
Okay, the Auburn Township Road Department report for May 2022. Patching continued on various roads, and partial depth repairs were made on Moreland Lane. Preliminary discussions concerning the condition of Moreland Lane between PJ, myself, and the county were had on site, and it was determined further investigation is needed before determining the surface schedule and the type. What they're gonna do is what we talked about, is take core samples down along the road there, and we'll have a better idea of what we need to do in that subdivision. Stafford Road, as you drove with PJ, we got our base down.
Base is down.
Base asphalt's down.
Almost half of the top on the south line.
Yeah, the intermediate's going and then top, so we're doing good there. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks that'll be buttoned up. We did have several trees down due to high winds. Fire department took care of a few. The road department did respond to 2 calls. That was a Saturday night. Also, beaver dams were removed from the roadside ditch along Crackle Road, and that's where Scott, by Golden Pond and Sanctuary, right in front of his house there, took those dams out. They did rebuild them overnight, we went back, took them out again, and right now they're not there. We did spend 2 weeks in the cemeteries, clearing brush, overgrowth, leveling grave sites, seeding, and forming filters. The old split rail fence was removed in anticipation of the new fencing. I haven't been in contact with Donnie, I know Gene has, and I don't know the time frame on that.
We knew all along, that's why we hurried to order that fence in February. It's probably on a boat in San Diego.
So,
Yeah, if it would have been here, Donnie would have had it on. So.
roadside mowing was started, and we are currently waiting on a part to be delivered out of Texas as well, so we can continue the service. The one thing that we do want to take into account is the park is growing up right now. Trying to get that before that goes to seed.
I was gonna talk to you about that. We're at the point, could we lease something? Could we rent something? Would that be,
I can explore that.
I think we should.
They told us 2 weeks on this part, so,
And that, 2 weeks is like that, checks in the mail.
as you said on the part you were waiting on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could look for something,
I think we should.
We did do a couple small addition requests on Stafford Road, and we did erosion control on Quinn Road as well. We will be addressing resident requests when we have the opportunity. Right now, what we're looking to do is get back in the roadside mowing. I have to take care of the various roads that we're gonna asphalt prior to them moving in and get those mowed as well, so we can put the berm material down.
I haven't seen that part that you said is out, but you described it to me. Is there any chance that could be fabricated?
It's a spline shaft. I mean, it's a Alamo part. Supposedly they had it in stock. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Spline on each end. It drives.
Yeah, I can picture it.
From
I
the
think I
PTO
haven't
that
seen it.
yeah, but it's a smaller shaft though. It can be fabricated. I think that's going to be a greater lead time to wait on things. So, but we'll see if we get a piece here.
Yeah, but I think you should be, I think we should look into running something.
Right.
They're out there.
And then where our focus now is to get on these chip seal roads and get those prepared for chip seal as well. We do have one cross culvert pipe, PJ, that still is on the wing road that we have to replace.
You wanna go to the crack seal program?
Sure.
We're, every year we bid out, well, you go ahead and describe it, Emmerich.
Yeah, every year we put out typically our 5s and 6s for crack seal. We typically allocate $50,000 for it, set aside. We do line item this so we can strike what we don't want to take on as per our budget at that time. What we do is we go out and we rate the roads in April, and this gives us the indication of which roads do need the crack seal. It is a project that we put out and we handle ourselves. This year as well, looking at what I have out there, I think that it's prudent for us to do the 5s and 6s. The 4s are right on the cusp of paving, right when they get into 3s, we start the paving. But I do believe, Nancy, we got that all done, everything's updated, and we're ready to put that out there.
Yeah, and I think we should, even though, as you're reading everywhere else, all these road projects are coming in higher. Contractors are coming back for adjustments upwards and projects that already bid. Nothing's getting cheaper.
Yeah, well, since we do it piecemeal, I mean,
Yeah.
just,
We're pretty
we may
determined.
not be able to do everything, but.
Emmerich's pretty determined to keep the program going, but we're really squeezing nickels here this year based on it, and potentially it could get worse too.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we should bid it the same way we always have, and just be aware that, it's gonna be, you're gonna have to really edit that list, I'm afraid, at some point, because everybody's got their hand out.
Which we've done in the past as well.
Yeah, that's why I say keep bidding it the same way like you did. Eventually things will get back to normal, right?
We hope so.
Ed? Anyone have any questions for Emmerich? Thank you very much.
Yeah, just one on, how many dumpsters did we go through for large items?
9.
9?
Yeah, I think we had 13 last year or something like that.
Yeah.
A
It
few more.
seemed to slow down toward the end.
It did, and everyone was out by 1 o'clock, so.
Yeah, because it was, when I got there, it was kind of like last year. It was like right at 8 o'clock, it was, you said they started lining up, what, 7?
7 o'clock, we
Yeah.
started unloading at 7:30, yeah.
And, but yeah, I remember because I ran out to get my daughter's prescription, came back at noon, and it was like, everybody left. And we still had, what, maybe 10 vehicles come in that last hour or so?
Yeah, we got it within the last half hour. It did trickle down to nothing, and we were able to take care of it. The senior trash pickup, we did raise the cap to 100, and we did have some add-ons that we did take care of that were supposed to be on our list, but appeared on someone else's list apparently. So I think we did 106 total.
And you pointed out that makes a difference on the day up
Oh,
there, too.
absolutely.
Did we do just one dumpster with tires, or did you have?
Oh, for senior trash pickup?
No, the tires.
Oh, yeah, tires is just one dumpster for tires. We did good this year on the tires.
Yeah, we did good on that, because it seemed like everybody that was coming in had at least a couple tires in there.
And I think the most important aspect of what happened this time, we didn't have any illegal dumping overnight, over the
Yeah.
weekend, except this morning, a guy with skid steer tracks and construction tires happened to show up. Yeah.
Again,
Okay, all right. Thank you, Everett.
thanks, Emmerich. Got a report tonight, Mike?
Nothing that isn't already on the new business, and we might as well just go through the old business and just go down the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much just add the same comment to that. Ian's on vacation and Fred's under the weather, for those of you wondering why the skeleton crew's here tonight. Old business, I guess things are moving, everything's, information's all been delivered now by our civil engineer to Western Reserve Conservancy on that parking lot expansion that we briefly touched on earlier. We can't begin any construction, or we can estimate, but, you know, we can't get serious about awarding anything until all the paperwork's done and the ink's dry. Mike, get anything with the ARPA funding and the VFD?
No, the guys, I met with them, the week before last, our last meeting in May, and they were working on it. What they're trying to do is to, because it becomes a little more complex now, because they're looking at prioritizing what they feel is the most important items, but then you've got other items which they are applying for grants for, which are also up there, so it's kind of a, we really have to get some type of matrix saying, okay, yeah, this is the most important thing, but there's a potential grant for this. There's the second most important thing, no grants available for this. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that anything that we get a grant for, we'll get that first and then go for the ARPA funds later.
Yeah, just to clear this up, how long are these ARPA funds gonna be available now?
I don't know what the
I think
timeframe
3
is.
years
It's
was
like
the
3
original.
years.
3 years?
Was the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, this was a much longer time frame than the original CARES Act.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So-
they finally realized that, no, you can't come up with 300,000 or $500,000 and say, hey, we're giving you this money, you gotta spend it by Wednesday.
Spend, yeah, spend.
Okay,
yeah.
so the last funds were like a year ago, correct? They were like August of,
Well, we just finished the last
There's
ones,
a-
the
there's a
last
new
of the CARES Act funds at the beginning of the year.
okay,
We used the remainder of that to get the chase car for the fire department.
right, okay. But those latest ones then, those will be available for discretionary spending for 3 years,
Yes.
you're saying? Okay, so like,
With some reporting and some strings attached, but
okay,
yes.
so give and take, but approximately 25 then?
I think 24.
24.
24, I think, end of 24.
Okay, okay.
So, we've got time, so we're not under the gun like we were before.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is good, because like I said, it does allow us to do an evaluation of what's really
What's
important,
really
instead of, here, we gotta get rid of this. And which is
Yeah.
why when they came up with this, the original projects we had, said, okay, let's expand that out and look at where are we gonna get the biggest bang for our buck, what's the most important thing?
Yeah.
As opposed to trying saying, well, we really don't need this, but, I think they'd like this,
Yeah,
and trying to impress them,
yeah,
so.
use it or lose it.
Yeah, so, the fact that we use it for discretionary spending really changed the whole game.
Okay.
I can get that date to you if you want it, Diane.
I'm sorry,
I
what?
can get that date to you if you want it.
Well, just Just
Yeah,
to sort
just
of
to
be
know how long it
specific, to
is.
sort of, yeah.
But it is that long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd be grateful.
Sure.
Thank you, Nancy.
Sure.
Yeah, and another thing is, you've got all this money available now that they're letting people use, but now we have nothing available to buy because you can't get anything.
Right.
But here's a bunch of money, but you can't get it
You can
because
put
it's
your
not out.
order in, but you can, you'll be waiting there for the next 6
Yeah.
months. While they make arrangements to make it. Yeah, it's crazy. And we're all gonna be paying for it.
Yeah, I mean,
All
my
the-
company is small, and so, we buy smaller components and stuff, electrical components. We got this one, we used to be a standard transformer, cost like $10. And I've got probably $30,000 worth of orders, backlog since January. They told us August, now it's like, well, maybe it'll be December.
Right.
And again, for simple, small things. So it's not just the big stuff that's going on,
Right.
and like I said, you're making something, it all it takes is one part you can't get, you're dead in the water.
Right. Something as simple as a range hood.
Yep.
It's just.
Okay, we got an invoice from Eclipse Company for work performed on Stafford Road through May 15th. The amount is $52,771.25. Looks like it's going to be paid essentially 50-50 between our local funds and the OPWC grant. So I'm gonna make a motion based on engineer's advice, that Auburn Township pay Eclipse Companies $26,385.63.
Okay, I'll second.
Mike
Yes.
and PJ.
Yes. And then I'm also going to make a motion that we submit the remaining, which is $26,385.62 to OPWC for payment, and then make that payment.
I'll second that as well.
Mike
Yes.
and PJ.
Yes, and we've got some paperwork to sign.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just,
Okay, you're probably getting tired, PJ, I'll take this next one. We got franchise fees of $4,978.87 from Charter Communications. And I'd like to make a motion to put those into the land acquisition and improvement fund.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ.
Yes.
Okay, break's over, get back to work.
All right, we've been talking about all the funding that, unexpected funding, I guess you'd have to call it, that's been made available to the township, which has also created a backlog of work for our fiscal officer. This board's been in contact with Fred several times, and he agreed that perhaps now's the time to look for an assistant. Hours to be determined yet, based on applicants and qualifications, but Fred concurred that this is a proper route for the township to take. So I'm going to read this. Help wanted ad, I guess, for lack of a better term. Assistant to Fiscal Officer, Auburn Township. Auburn Township Fiscal Officer seeks application for position of Assistant to Fiscal Officer. The applicant will assist the fiscal officer in keeping an accurate record of all township accounts and transactions. It is the responsibility of the fiscal officer to comply strictly with legal requirements of the office, to establish and practice rules of efficient management of the office, and to follow good accounting practices in maintaining records and accounts. Residents may apply with a letter of interest and a resume sent to Fred May, this address. So I'm going to make a motion that we post this as applicable.
Okay, I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ.
Yes. We did the crack seal, that's going to go out. You want a motion for that? We never have really made a motion. It's kind of just part of the program. Todd Asnavorian, longtime member of the zoning commission. Got it. job opportunity, move his career along out of town, and he submitted his resignation from the commission. We put the applicant, or put the alternates on at the organizational meeting. I think we're pretty good there with the 6 now, with the 5, with the 4 members and the 2 alternates.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I don't think we really need to look for anybody at this time.
We have not, and based on some other things that I've had discussions with, that it's, we stumbled into a pretty good practice on just making appointments at the 1 meeting a year, and then also reiterating the terms of all those appointments of each board, and doing it once a year. I don't think it was something we planned to with,
No,
but I've heard, from what I hear, that's a pretty solid way to do things.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's legal advice.
So we can pull up the first alternate into that position and
Yes.
still have 1 alternate.
So, yeah, and unless something gets dire, I don't feel the need to make an appointment.
No,
until
I would concur.
that organizational meeting. Can we send Todd a letter thanking him? Yeah, 4th of July falls on a Monday, I believe, right?
That
Yes.
is correct.
So what are we gonna do?
I'm good either way. We can,
5th or 11th?
I would go with the 5th.
Yeah, I think I would too. I didn't ask Gene, I did talk to him today for a minute. You think you've asked, did he say anything to you?
No.
Probably should have brought that up. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so let's reschedule it for the
5th.
Tuesday the 5th.
At 7:30. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mike
Yes.
and PJ.
Yes. We got a quote from GW Construction.
I did give them to you. I added those in last minute, sorry, there's 2 of them.
Oh, all right, yeah. There's the bit of damage on the west side of the building at Adam Hall. Corner of the building got tweaked. Gonna remove the cedar corner boards and then the hardy, that's concrete, cement siding on that. That's on the addition. And then just reinstall, fix the siding, and reinstall the trim. $970. I'm gonna make a motion to go with GW Construction on that one.
Yeah, I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ?
Yes. And Town Hall, Nancy and I went over and did a Town Hall front door investigation about a month ago. And this is a proposal to furnish material and labor to install a new front door at the above ad at Town Hall. I think that was a used door when we put that on, wasn't it? Didn't
It
come
was a
from Peterson
used door,
Construction?
and it was residential,
Yeah.
and then they tried to outfit it with those safety, the push.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just keeps breaking, the whole thing just keeps falling apart. So, he said that's one of the reasons why it's more expensive is, number one, it's a custom door, and it's a commercial door. And, if you wanna save money, he could put a regular handle on it. But I think for a public building,
Yeah. This, when that door was installed, that was, what we figured, 12 years ago? Was it 14 years ago when we did the
Yeah.
first redo over there?
I think it was like 14.
And we were probably looking to save a couple of bucks, and the contractor had this available, and that's what we did. But 14 years later, we've got some issues on it. Anyway, back to the proposal. Remove the existing door and trim around the door. Install white fiberglass double door. Door will have panic hardware and door closers installed. Door and trim will be painted white. $6,000. And he's got allowances. A double fiberglass door, 3,000. I don't understand that.
He's showing you that that's the cost he's gotta pay for that door.
Oh, okay. And the panic hardware is
And the
1,000,
panic
I'm sure.
hardware is
Yeah, so
Sure,
we
that's right.
basically got 4,000 of that 6,000 is just the doors and
It's
the
hard, yeah,
hardware.
it's material.
Let's just do it once, do it right, and get it over with.
Yeah, you guys have fixed that door several times over the years too, so it's probably a wise move. Is that a motion, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll second it.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes. Okay, we're at the bottom of our agenda there.
Well, sorry.
I guess the big event coming up is the first for the fireworks, correct, Mike?
Yep.
And the rain date's the 3rd. And then we're having a parade on the 4th, and it's gonna be at what time?
11 o'clock.
11 a.m. Okay.
11 o'clock,
So if I
staging
show
at
up
10
if I
o'clock.
show up at noon, it's gonna be a very small parade then.
Well,
Like I'll be by myself.
we told you it was noon, you'd show up at 1 o'clock, what's the difference?
Okay, well, we're trying to bring back a tradition, and I wanna thank the scouts and everybody involved with doing that. I'm looking forward to it. All right, anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, just final question, just to make sure I understood you correctly regarding the Eclipse bill. So that bill was split in half, is that correct?
Yeah, we got some OPWC funding,
Okay.
$300,000, and engineer coordinates how we use that, and
Okay.
if the bill's big enough, we'll do a draw on that OPWC fund
Okay,
at the same time.
okay, so the total bill then was 5.2 million plus?
No. The
I'm
bill
sorry.
today was $52,771.
Thank you. I was not a math teacher.
52,000, 5 million, well,
Yeah, forgive, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
PJ, is there a salary with that's being advertised with fiscal office?
We did not post one in that ad, and I think we're gonna wait to see what kind of applicants we get, Mike.
Right,
That's
yeah.
kind of,
again, the hours and the pay will be, commensurate with experience, and, we just have to, we won't know until we see all the applicants, let's put it that way, don't start there.
Is there a limit, the final date of application for that? Will that be on the website advertisement?
it wasn't in that ad I read.
no, it wasn't, never thought about it. About a deadline or have it in, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to have a deadline on it, I'd say,
No, but
put it.
I never see that advertised in a help wanted ad. They don't say apply before July 4th.
Yeah, but I think that,
I'd almost say July 1 would make some sense.
yeah, because, this is something we want to move on,
Yeah,
so.
I think we have to be timely.
It's not something that we can just lounge around and say, well, maybe 6 months, a year from now, Fred needs help now. So,
Okay.
Should July 1 make sense? It's
Yeah,
I
that makes
can't-
sense. Get it in
I
there.
can't get it in the paper until the 16th, unless we put it in like the News Herald and not the Maple Leaf. So that,
Well, my motion was every place that's applicable, so.
Yeah.
I would not object to posting that in the News Herald.
so
Yeah.
then that would give them 3 weeks.
Yeah. All right, since we're still in session and stuff, I'm gonna amend that on that assistant to the fiscal officer ad to have a closing date for applications of 4 o'clock on July 1st, 2022. Thanks for pointing it out.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Is Mike seconding it?
Sure,
Mike,
yes.
PJ,
Yes.
okay?
Or would that be an amended second? Because yours was an amended,
All right, cut them off.
Fine. All right,
Anybody else? Anything else?
okay.
Thank you, good questions.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Mike,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. For myself? Oh, Jim?
so we had a request today
I don't know, yeah, he's still with us. I didn't know his house was up
for
for
the
sale.
parade, that, Mrs. Bly, is that what?
His
Yeah.
mother's gonna go
She
second, so
can't get her tractor
maybe we're dealing with that.
to this